welcome to Healing Aspirations with Amani. My name is Amani Obeid, your holistic dental health coach. Thank you so much for joining me today on day number 3 of the pre-Ramadan reboot. So excited to have you with me today. And so just to recap, we started this week on Monday. As I said, it's a time for spring here. If you're living in Canada like me, I know I heard from one of my members that in Australia it's autumn actually, but right now here in Canada it's spring. And so I wanted to share with you how you can take advantage of the fact that Ramadan is happening in the spring this year, going on to summer. So on Monday, I talked about the importance of setting your goals, making a dua list so you don't forget about any of the du'as, because sometimes the entire month goes by and then you forgot about some things you actually really wanted from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for Him to grant it for you. And yesterday we talked about the importance of hydration when you're fasting and why it's important to prepare your body before Ramadan by drinking enough water so that you're already used to it, and it's going to be the first thing that you do when you're eating your pre-dawn meal, the suhoor, and also when you're breaking your fast at iftar time, inshallah. So today's number 3, and I am so excited to share with you something, so you know why I'm wearing my gloves. I'm going to share with you my favorite herb. Introducing lady stinging nettle. And today I was at the forest school with my children, and it was so exciting that it's already ready, and this is exactly what I wanted to talk about today, subhanallah. So what is nettle, and how is this going to help you, inshallah, with your teeth, with your gums, and your entire body? Now, stinging nettle, yes, it stings. This is why I'm wearing gloves. It's basically a common weed that's found throughout the world, and how you're going to use this to your advantage is you're going to do something called an infusion. I'm going to talk about that shortly. And basically, when you make an infusion with this herb, it creates a very, very nourishing drink that packs more energy per cup than any stimulant, including coffee, and without the downsides of caffeine, which is super, super exciting. Are you a sleep-deprived mom? Nettle. Are you an exhausted teenager? Nettle. Are you an overwhelmed and stressed business executive? Nettle. Okay? If you want to replenish your energy, if you want to improve your mood, if you want to have restorative sleep, add nettle into your life. Now, what makes this so amazing? So, nettle is very rich in protein, it's rich in vitamins, it's rich in minerals, and especially it's actually very, very concentrated in trace minerals. So, when I talk about trace minerals, a lot of times people are thinking of the basic, well-known minerals, so calcium and iron. Sometimes people talk about magnesium, which is actually very important as well, zinc, but I'm talking about the trace minerals. So, first of all, it's got chromium. If you're someone who is diabetic or pre-diabetic, this can really, really help you, this mineral, with blood sugar regulation. This is found in nettle. It's got selenium, which has anti-cancer properties to it. It's got sulfur, which enhances your immune system. It's got zinc, which I talked about earlier, which enhances your brain function. It improves your memory. It's got boron. And why am I talking about boron? This is very important when you're developing your bones, strengthening your bones, and teeth are bones after all, so obviously it's going to strengthen your teeth. But I'm going to go even further. I'm going to actually give you some numbers about nettle. Now, I mentioned that it's a very high source of protein. It's actually 10% protein by weight, which is double that of spinach. And it's a rich storehouse of readily absorbable minerals and trace minerals, like I said, and micronutrients. So if you have a quart of infusion, I'll talk about that, like I said, shortly, there's 1,000 milligrams of calcium right there. You've got 300 milligrams of magnesium, 600 milligrams of potassium, 1.5 milligrams of zinc, 0.7 milligrams of selenium, 15 milligrams of iron, and 2.6 milligrams of manganese. Like I said, and all the other trace minerals. You've got the chromium, cobalt, phosphorus, copper, sulfur, silicon, and a whole lot of other goodness. The other thing, not only is it rich in minerals, it is full of vitamins. So you've got vitamin A in the form of beta carotene, about 5,000 IUs per quart of infusion. You've got a lot of B complex, so thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, folate. It's full of that. It's got vitamin C and vitamin K. So in essence, a nettle infusion is nature's multivitamin. And on top of that, it's in a liquid form, which is extremely absorbable. And there's no denser nutrition found in any plant, not even blue-green algae. And nettle is a lot more reasonably priced than any supplement, especially if you buy it in bulk. Now, in order to harness the power of nettle, you will want to consume a lot of it in order to get the nutrition from it that your body needs. So you can drink a nettle tea, you can have nettle capsules, but you're not going to get as much benefit. You're not going to feel much of a difference. So that's why it's important to make an infusion. The infusing the nettle, what that's going to do, it's going to maximize its energy enhancing effects. So if you really want to experience the miracle of nettle, I highly recommend that you infuse it. So what is an infusion? And this is what we're going to talk about shortly. So let's go inside and I'll show you how to make your very own nettle infusion. So basically an infusion is a very, very strong tea. So when you're making a tea, a lot of times you're using a teaspoon or two of the herb. When you're making an infusion though, it's basically a very strong concentrated tea. So come into my kitchen, let me show you how to make your own batch of nettle infusion. Hopefully you can see everything here. I think that's pretty clear. All right, so I have here a pot of boiling water and we're gonna make it. How do you make it? So, you start off with a mason jar. And the mason jar, what you want to do is you want to put into it 1 cup of the herb. And when you buy it in bulk form, this is how it looks like. Kind of reminds you of mint. So you want to put a cup of this herb inside the quart jar-sized mason jar, and you're going to have the water boiling and ready to go. What you want to do preferably is you want to have this done the night before, and what you're going to do is you're going to pour boiling water over the nettle all the way to the top. You're going to put a full quart of boiling water and you're going to steep it overnight. Preferably you want to steep it between 4 to 8 hours, but overnight, like 8 to 10 hours is best. You're going to be able to extract the goodness from it as much as you can. So, the water is ready. It's been boiling. Like I said, 1 cup of herb, and you put the 1 quart of water. Something else you can do to optimize the taste of it, because it's very, very rich and earthy, is if you want, you can add a tablespoon of mint. Gives it a nice minty flavor. So, this is how it looks like. And like I said, you want to cover it, leave it for 4 to 8 hours, preferably 10, and then you want to strain it the next day. So the next day, right now this is how it looks like. The next day, and here's a batch that I did from last night. You've extracted everything out of this beautiful herb, and you're ready to strain it. So you strain the herb, and see the color of it. What you want to do is the leftover leaves, you want to strain them as much as you can and squeeze all the goodness out of it so you can extract as much as possible. And what you can do, you can just chuck these, but it'd be better if you can compost them. So I'm just going to squeeze them like this. Put them in my compost pile. And that's all there is to it. You are ready now to consume your nettle infusion. Now, a lot of us were used to adding a sweetener to our teas. It'll taste funny if you add a sweetener like honey, even if it's a natural sweetener. It's actually best to drink this not warm, but I guess room temperature or cold if you prefer. I personally prefer room temperature foods than cold. just better for digestion in general. But you have the, you've strained it, and instead of adding honey, what you want to do is just add a pinch of unrefined sea salt. This will give you some much needed, because there's a lot of potassium in it. When you add the sea salt, you're going to give some extra sodium to your batch of that. You want to mix it up, inshallah. And now, it's easy as that. You are ready now to consume your nettle infusion. Now, what do I love about this? Is the fact that it just builds energy from inside out. It nourishes your adrenals. It's kind of like, it's such a rich source of minerals that you can consider it like earth milk. So it's a dairy-free milk because it's so rich in minerals, so you can just call it earth milk. So for anyone who says, you know, how am I going to heal my teeth without dairy? It is possible. This is an example right here of how you can heal your teeth, inshallah. Now, the cool thing about nettle is that the minerals in it are polarized to the blood. So basically it's kind of like they're kind of magnetized to your blood. So they just go in right into your bloodstream because they don't really need any digestion. It's already in liquid form. It's not like you have to extract it from anything. You've already extracted it. So it's like I said, the perfect way to describe it is it's a liquid multivitamin. Now, what is it going to help with? Like I said, it gives you energy. It's going to build your body from inside out. It's excellent for your bones, excellent for your teeth, excellent for your gums. If you've got acne, it's actually very good for the liver. It helps purify the blood. And so it'll help with acne lesions, and you'll get a clearer complexion the more you drink it. It strengthens and promotes the growth of hair and your nails. If you have bleeding gums, because it strengthens the blood vessels, this will help with that as well. If you have even arthritis, it really helps with that, right? The other cool thing about it is it's a natural antihistamine. So if you have, right now, you know, the season for seasonal allergies, this is perfect to help with that, inshallah. So, like I said, I love it because it's my favorite herb for overall dental health. You just can't go wrong with nettle. And I'll show you how it looks like once you strain it. Very dark and rich. Bismillah. And there's still more. Here is your earth milk. MashaAllah. Drink this up. I highly recommend that after you've hydrated yourself before you're starting your fasting, at your pre-dawn meal, you want to drink some water. Drink after that 2 to 4 cups of this, and you're gonna get energy, inshallah. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really wanted to share with you the herb that I'm most passionate about, which is nettle. If you like it, share it, inshallah, with your friends and family. Tag your friends, and inshallah, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for day number 4 of the pre-Ramadan reboot. Jazakumullahu khairan, and salam alaikum.